Hello guys and welcome back. So now from this video onwards we will start adding our barrier jumps, or you can say wall jumps. Okay, so for that, as you know that we have these barriers right here, so make sure that you add the barrier pack in your project as well, and then select this barrier and let's decrease the box collider to this side because we want the player hands to be on top of this surface. Okay, but if you notice the box collider was a little bit wider, so make sure that you move the box collider close to the upper surface of this barrier, then from this side as well. Okay, so once you do that, then let's do the same for this one as well. So as you know that this one has two box collider, the first one is right down below. So what we're gonna do is we will remove the first box collider and then let's edit this second one, but actually this second one is fine. Okay, but we just need to move this second one a little bit down below to this point. Okay, so let's move it right down there. Okay, and once you do that, now let's select this one and let's click on this edit collider. Okay, and let's move it to there, then from this side as well. Okay, so as you can see now it is looking good. And then what I want you to do is to select these barriers, and then what I want you to do is add a tag right here. So click on add tag, then let's name this as barrier, click save, and then select these three again and simply add the barrier tag right there. After this, on the mixamo.com, search for jumping, and right here we have this jumping animation, so let's click on it. Okay, so this is the animation. Let me rotate. Okay, so this is the animation which we need for our barrier jump. So let's click on download, change it to FBX for Unity, then without skin, click download. After this, if we scroll down, you will notice this animation jumping. So you can select this one as well. Okay, because we will be adding different vault actions. Okay, you can add as many vault action you want. Okay, so I will download that too. Then let's select this one as well. If you want to use this vault action, then you can also use this one as well. Just simply download it, and that will be it. Okay, if you want, you can search for more jumping animation and use them as well. Okay, so once you download these three animations, let's now drag and drop them inside our animations folder. So select that, then let's go ahead and drag and drop them in here. Then let's see where it is. Okay, so this is the jumping, not that. I think this is the one. So jumping, then jumping 2, and let's find the other jumping. Okay, so let's select this one. Okay, the jumping one, all of the names are the same, but as you know that on this animation we don't have the rig set up, so let's set up the rig, copy from other avatar and select main mesh avatar, click apply. Let's click on animation now and let's drag and drop our player. Let's see which animation is this. Okay, this is this jumping. Now let's select the next one. Let's do the same settings. So click humanoid, copy from other avatar and select main mesh, click apply, then simply drag and drop the player. Okay, this is this one. Now let's select the next one, change this to humanoid, then copy from other avatar and let's select main mesh avatar, click apply. Let's click on animation, drag and drop the player. Okay, so this is our jumping animation. Okay, now let's rename them actually. So we will type jump 1, Then let's select the second one. Okay, let's rename this to jump 2. Then let's select this jumping animation. Okay, and let's now rename this to jump 3. Okay, now let's select the jump 1, and now we need to trim this. But before trimming, make the rotation back into pose, the body orientation original, and change this root transform y to feet. Okay, then click on apply, and now if you notice, the player is not rotating. Okay, now the next thing which we will be doing is to trim this animation. So from the start, trim the first 4 frames, and from the end it is perfectly fine. Now if we play it, as you can see, it is now only playing the vault jump, as you can see. Okay, so in this way you can trim this animation, and make sure that you click apply, because we didn't click apply, so it shows that save option. So make sure that you click apply before going anywhere. Okay, now if we click on this animator, let's drag and drop our jump 1 right there, and we will change its name to vault jump, for example, and then make a transition from this to basic locomotion. And now if we play this, as you can see, it is now a fully animation. Okay, the player jumps, then gets back into the basic locomotion idle state. Then let's go ahead and create a parkour action for this. So inside our parkour actions, let's create a new parkour action, and let's name this as vault jump. Okay, and now we need to add the animation name. The animation name is vault jump as well, so make sure that you type the name correctly. And then we need the minimum height, maximum height, the locate obstacle, and the other things. Before now setting these values, we need to add some few option in our parkour action data. Okay, and that option will be to add a barrier tag option, because these vault jumps will be different from our other parkour actions. Okay, and the reason we are separating them from the other parkour action is, for example, the height of this obstacle and this barrier is the same. Okay, so if we didn't make a difference between these parkour action, then the player will perform the wall jump on this barrier, or you can say this object, and also the player will maybe perform the high jump up on this barrier. Okay, so we don't want to mix that up. Okay, so that is the reason why we created the barrier tag, and now we need that barrier tag inside our wall jump parkour action data. Okay, so for that, simply open up the new parkour action script, and at the top after the animation name, let's create a serialize field. This will be of type string, and let's name this as barrier tag. Right here, make the b small, then right down below in our check if available, let's now check for the barrier tag as well. So what we're gonna do is let's add curly brackets right here. Okay, and then at the top before this float, we will now check for the barrier tag. So we will say if string dot is null or empty, okay, then we will pass the barrier tag, and we will say, sorry, type and. Okay, and hit data dot hit info dot transform dot tag is not equals to the barrier tag. Okay, then what we will do, we will say return false. Okay, so now what this means, it means that if the barrier tag is not empty, okay, so if the barrier tag is not empty or null, and also the tag, okay, the tag of the obstacle is not equals to the barrier tag, then we will simply return false. And you will be thinking that where this tag will come from, as you know that this hit data dot hit info is on our environment checker. Right here inside this obstacle info, we store all of the information about the obstacle that is in front of the player. Okay, so as you know that we stored that inside our hit info, so that is the reason right here we say hit info.transform.tag, because right here inside this hit info, when we create a raycast, it stores the information about the obstacle. Okay, it stores all of the information, the position, rotation, scale, the tags, and everything about that obstacle. Okay, so now after this if condition, let's go ahead and save the script. Now if you click on wall jump, as you can see right here, it needs the barrier tag. Okay, you don't need to apply the barrier tag to these three parkour actions. Okay, we just need to add the barrier tag on which parkour action it is needed. So as you know that the barrier tag is by the name of barrier, because if you check this, as you can see the tag is barrier. Okay, you can type your own barrier name. Then for the minimum height, we will pass the same values as our, let's just say, as our high jump up. So it is 0.7 and 1. So we will say 0.8 and then 1.1, maybe something like that. Okay, we might change these values when we test our game. Okay, but for now we will leave this as it is. Click on this look at obstacle. We will also allow target matching, and in the compare body part, let's see our animation. Okay, this is the animation. If we check it, the player puts the left hand first, as you can see. Okay, the left hand first. So right here we will select left hand, then the compare start time, let's check that out as well. So we want to start target matching from this point where the player puts, I mean move the hand in the air right here on this 12 percentage. Okay, and then to which point, let's move to this position, this 31 position. Okay, from 12 to 31. Okay, from here to, let's just say 31 or maybe 32, but we will type 31. Okay, so now from 0.12 to 0.31. Okay, and make the z1 and then save this. Now let's click on player and let's make the list number as 4. Now drag and drop the wall jump and move this wall jump right here above this high jump up. Okay, because we want to prioritize our wall jump. Now let's play the game and test it out. Okay, so here is our player. Okay, let's move right there. So I think the player is not jumping on that, but if you notice, the player is jumping on this obstacle and also on this one. Okay, I think there is an issue with our minimum height and maximum height. Maybe let me test this one. As you can see, this one is also perfectly fine, but the player is not jumping onto this one. Okay, so let me go ahead and fix the values. So as I told you, in order to fix the values, you just need to select wall jump. Let's change this to 0.6 maybe, and let's test it. Okay, it's not working. Let's make this as 0.9 maybe, not 9.9. Okay, it is still not working. Let's make this 1. Okay, it is not working. And the reason the player is going inside this obstacle, because the collider of this obstacle is smaller. Okay, so that is the reason why. Guys, I will stop the recording and change these values, okay, and test it out on which values this works perfectly fine. Then I will show you that values, okay. So I have tested the values and we just need to increase our maximum value to 1.6 and minimum value to 0.6. Okay, and now if we go ahead and test it out, as you can see the player is performing the wall jump perfectly fine. But if you notice, when we perform it, the player stays in air for a while. As you can see, the player is in the air, okay, and that it not looking good. Okay, so we need to fix this issue with our wall jump. Okay, and we also want to add the other wall jumps as well, but first of all we need to fix this issue. So what we're gonna do is we will end this video right here since our wall jump is working, and in the next video we will fix the issue with our wall jump.